So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. In our previous video, we discussed the Sheila Israel story, how this 21-year-old pastor's daughter met entertainment aide, the video's manager, Israel, and they got married a few months later and divorced less than a year after, and how this divorce and the crisis and bitterness that has followed has been vibrating through the 6 corners of social media. If you haven't watched the previous video and you have interest in knowing how this all started, I'm referring it to you right now. Catch up on that video and then come back to this one, because in today's video we are going to be having some hard conversations and sharing some very important life lessons that can help every one of us, whether single or married, whether male or female. If you're new here, you're seeing my face for the first time, or if you've been watching us without subscribing, hello, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Give this video a big thumbs up. Don't be stingy with your thumbs up, Ogini. Give the video a big thumbs up. Drop your comments down in the comment section and stay glued, for we have so much more coming your way. Don't also forget that our masterclass is still up and running. So if you have interest in mastering the art, the beautiful art of storytelling, and learning how to hold your audience spellbound and have them coming back for more, that course is all you need. I'm going to leave the direct link to access it down in the comment section, or you can just mail us at nezemasterclass@gmail.com. Let us proceed. The first subjects and points that I would like us to touch on as regards Israel and Sheila's divorce is the opposite attract factor. Now, there is a very popular saying that opposites attract. There is some truth in it, and there are plenty of misconceptions as well. Yes, opposites and differences in personalities may attract and do very well attracting. Differences in hobbies, differences in temperaments, differences in interests, differences in personalities. For example, one person is a talkative, cannot stop talking, and the other person is more on the calm and reserved side. Or one person is spontaneous and fun, while the other person is more reserved, the one that they can call the boring one, the more calculated and structured. For example, again, one person say loves fast-paced activities, adrenaline popping. They love sports, they love parties, while the other person may just be a bit more interested in maybe watching television, chilling at home, reading books, doesn't have that much energy to match the other partner's energy. Those kinds of opposites attract. As a matter of fact, I believe that these differences in personalities can balance a relationship or marriage and bring excitement, variety, and allows for partners to, complement each other and balance their strengths and weaknesses. That kind of opposite is the type that attracts, is the type that works. But there is another opposite that you should never play with. The type that should repel and should never attract. And that is opposites in values, in value systems. Let me tell you something. You see, values are the bedrock, the foundation of a lasting marriage. Things like shared principles on honesty, concepts on respect. Are you the kind of person that believes that respect should be earned and given? It should be between the two parties, or you're the type that believes that it should be a unilateral engagement? Only one person should be respecting, while the other person should be receiving respect. Your values on the concept of respect, faith, your belief system, family values, financial principles, ideas on long-term projections and visions. If these core values do not align, are opposite, love and attraction may not be sufficient to sustain that relationship or marriage in the long term. Don't Don't get me wrong, I'm not talking to the ladies alone. I am even talking to maybe the men more. And it's going to be in everybody's best interests, not just the woman. Core values should align. And when I say should, it shouldn't be like, it mustn't be like every single one of them. You have a checklist, every single one of them. No, nobody is factory fitted. Nobody is robotics and AI, right? But the most important ones should align. So while personality differences may add spice and ginger and swagger to the marriage, the shared values will be what will provide the foundation, the gongwaso, the cocoa of whether that marriage will stand or fall. Or if it stands, how it's going to stand. No, there's some marriage that's standing, but the house is like this. That if you just do like this, piam, the whole building, the whole thing will come into rumbles. It is that core values that will determine how the marriage would stand or if it would stand at all. So if one values discipline and accountability, while the other person, the other party, values total freedom, there would always be constant tension. Take a look at all the celebrity marriages that are working in Nigeria, or that have worked. I'm not saying that celebrity marriages are our models, are our ideal marriages. I'm just trying to use them because they are examples that everybody can relate to because they're out there. Everybody knows them. Look at the celebrity marriages that have worked so far in Nigeria. Omotola Jalade and the pilot, Captain Ekende. Omotola, the social media one, the one that acts movies, travels, her husband. How many times have you seen him doing Chris Man on social media? Calm, reserved, different personalities, but look at their value systems. Look at how they raise their children. Look at how they're always on vacation together. Look at how they keep to themselves. Look at the values that they project in their lives. Similar. Take a look at Mercy Johnson and her husband, Prince Okoje. Mercy, the crazy one. In fact, Mercy has calmed down. If you knew Mercy Johnson when she started acting, you will know that Mercy is crazy. She's the kind of person that can wear pants and bra and somersault on a moving vehicle. She's that kind of girl. Take a look at her husband. I don't even know what his voice sounds like. I've never heard that man talk. He's always there on his own, just smiling gingerly. He doesn't keep friends. He's just the opposite in personality of his wife. But look at their value system. Look at their family. You always see them with their children, celebrating birthday, taking family photo shoots. They share the same value systems. Or is it Dakore Egbuson and her husband? Who knows Dakore's husband? But we all know that she's married because she used to be Dakore Akande, right? But now she's Egbuson. So who has seen her husband being on social media, going from one red carpet, doing agirega? No. Calm, gentle, perfect combination. Salt and sugar, ice and fire. But value systems is the most important part. So Sheila and Israel come from very different worlds. In fact, to me, they are worlds apart. And just because Sheila is on social media doing social media business does not mean that her value system aligns with Juju. There are some people that are doing social media, but their real life, like me now, I'm on social media. If you see me on social media, you might think that I'm a social media person, but outside, once this light goes off, my value system, my personality is completely different. So someone can be on social media doing social media business, but still have a calm, level-headed persona. So Sheila, on one hand, was raised in a pastor's home. Her mother is a deaconess, her father is a pastor. She must have had a conservative and faith-based upbringing. Israel, on the other hand, is a core Bini boy. If you've schooled in Bini City, you understand what I'm talking about. He's a proper street rugged Bini boy. Davido's loud, comic and controversial aid. So you find him unfiltered on social media and displaying anyhowness. He's always in the spotlight and thrives on public drama and noise. Now, these differences in personality might have formed part of the initial attraction. For Sheila, Israel's boldness and I don't care attitude may have been sexy, may have been interesting, fun, exciting. And for Israel, her perceived calmness, godliness. Don't forget that this is a guy that is into entertainment, travels with his Oga Davido from one country to the other, so he must have met all sorts of women who are willing to give the cookie up the very night they met you just because you are affiliated to Davido. So he must have met all these wildies. So meeting a lady like Sheila, a virgin in her 20s, graduate, preaching the gospel on the streets, he must have been immediately taken by her calmness, and her innocence, if I can put that in quotes, may have felt very refreshing for him. And so they confused their differences in personality as opposite attracts, without realizing that those differences were not only in personalities, but were touching very heavily on values, touching very significantly on vision. And such a combination hardly works. The only situation where such marriages work is where one of the parties just surrender themselves to suffering and silence, just give up and ready to bear and endure and just take all sorts for the marriage to just work. But if given a level playing field, that marriage cannot work. Ladies and gentlemen, the initial excitement at the beginning of a relationship can never ever sustain a marriage, especially now that marriages are no longer being heavily premised on the endurance and suffering patience of the women of the past. Let us be very careful and watchful and deliberate to align our lives and our futures with people who share similar values with us. Secondly, on this Israel Sheila saga, traditional man versus global woman. Now, we have had this conversation once or twice on this channel. I think we had it during the Frank Edoho second divorce conversation. And I told you guys that traditional men should never marry global women. That is the quickest recipe for disaster. And we have seen it play out once again in this 10-month marriage of Israel and Sheila. Now, when I talk about traditional men and global women, I am not talking about clothes. One person prefers to wear English wear, while the other one prefers to wear native ensembles. I am not talking about food, choices of food, where one person likes to eat eba and swallow and ukwa and okpa, while the other one likes to eat burger and indomie. That is not the traditional man and global woman that I am talking about. I am not talking about music preferences, where one person loves to listen to Ja Rule and Jay-Z and Beyonce, hip-hop and country music, while the other one prefers ogene, music. That is not the global and traditional I'm talking about. What I am talking about rests on mindsets. Now, don't get me wrong. There is absolutely nothing wrong with a traditional man. Let us not altogether demonize that. In our previous video where we spoke about tradition and culture and people making their marriages slaves of culture, somebody dropped in the comment section and say, if you marry a traditional man, you will suffer. I understand her point. Now, we're not trying to demonize being a traditional man. In fact, I personally believe that one of the sweetest marriages that you can ever have is with a traditional man. A traditional man who is kind, who is flexible, who is willing to learn and unlearn some things. A compassionate traditional man, a sugar. The problem is mostly with the archaic, close-minded, regressive thinking traditional men who really do not value the idea of tradition but exploit it to benefit themselves and oppress others.
Before you marry, find out if they are hairdressers before they turn you to a mannequin. Is it mannequin you call it?
Mannequin. Yeah.
Mannequin, This is what they have turned me into. What can I do? You are laughing.
Your problem starts as a man the day you open business for your wife or your girlfriend.
Wow.
The day you empower your wife, that is the day your problem starts.
Every day as I unwrap different layers of myself and discover my true purpose on earth, why God brought me here, I begin to appreciate more and more the time I spent in banking. Although when I was doing the job, oh my God, it was a very difficult job, very tasking. But now I'm reflecting back and appreciating my years in banking, because I believe that it prepared me so much for who I am today and for my calling, which I am doing now. When I worked at the bank, one of the departments that I worked in was customer service, and occupying that position exposed me to meeting tons of people. Like every day, at least I meet with and speak to 100 people. On some busy days, it's more than that. And I'm the kind of person, I have the kind of nature and spirit that people easily get drawn to me. People easily confide in me, and I am an excellent listener, right? So it got me exposed to different people with different mindsets and different cultures and different ways of life, different financial status, different people from all walks of life. And I can tell you for free that one of the best people that you can ever meet are the loving, traditional men. Oh God. Those men value their wives. They believe in showcasing their affluence through their wives' appearance. They pride themselves in their wives. They invest in their wives. They brag about their wives and say, oh yes, my wife is doing PhD. My wife is taking her master's. They want to elevate their wives. They want to buy their wives the latest cars. They are deeply rooted traditionally. They believe in preserving some of the culture and customs, the ways of their ancestors, but their minds and mindsets are still progressive. They accept change. They are willing to learn. They'll tell you, Madam Banker, how can we do this? How can you do? You will see that they are educated traditional men. Not this education. There's some people that are educated in book, but they are illiterates. I'm talking about educated in mind, educated mind. If you are a global woman and you meet with this kind of traditional man, you would enjoy. You will not suffer. You may not have problems. But where the traditional man that you are dealing with here is the type that, okay, for example, the traditional man believes that the woman's destiny, her place, is in the home. And you, the forward-thinking woman, believe that you have a right to pursue personal growth and career and further your education. Where the traditional man believes that gender roles must remain not only clear, but rigidly fixed. He cannot bring out soup from the fridge and microwave it. While you, as the global woman, you believe that both parenting and household responsibilities should be shared. Everybody should be involved in making the house and the home run. Where the traditional man believes that decisions should and must rest with him alone as the head of the house. While the modern woman is believing that marriage should be partnership, not a fight and tussle for hierarchy or status. And before you know it, the traditional man begins feeling that the modern woman's in the quest for independence and her being outspoken is rebellion, while the modern woman believes that the traditional man's expectations of her is abuse, is control. Their worlds would keep colliding. They may genuinely love each other, but they are a mismatch, and it will be very, very, very difficult to work except one or both of the parties are willing to bend. And it applies to both sides. So I'm not saying global women are ideal and traditional men are the bad people. A traditional man too can meet a global woman who is extreme. Like this, our beautiful lady, the diary of a Niger girl that came out social media and say, I would have a womb, but I don't want to carry children in my womb. I would rather use a surrogate. Yes, that's what I want to do. She's married. She has attracted the kind of man that fits her, should I call it extreme modernization? She has attracted her type and they're living happily. So you as a traditional man, if you go and marry someone that is an extreme modern woman, you're going to have a problem. So the extremity can be on both the traditional man part and the modern woman parts. That's why I always preach balance. Balance is key in everything. So I believe that is exactly what played out here. Israel, on the one hand, Juju, a core 1000% local traditional Edo man that goes around wearing gown and bell, barefoot. He has not hidden it. Clearly doesn't believe a woman should have an opinion or tell him what to do or question his authority. He believes in complete obedience. Sheila, on the other hand, a modern woman to the core, a child that was born in 2001, 2000, an influencer, a two-time beauty queen, an exposed person that travels. Then she's married to a man that was telling her, I forbid you to put on the generator when I am not around. To Israel, he is standing on his authority as a man. To her, it is incomprehensible. She cannot understand it. Traditional man versus forward-thinking modern woman. Recipe for disaster. So please, my dear people of God, a traditional man can easily find a traditional woman with his concepts of marriage to marry. It is even easier for you people. It's just that sometimes you might find the one that will pretend because she wants to enter the marriage. When the marriage comes, you will see that, she's not all that traditional. But just marry your type. Let us stop making life hard for ourselves. We are seeing Uncle Israel now coming out every day to cry, to lament. He can't let go. Sheila herself, before the age of 23, she had become a divorcee. It's not a funny thing. It's not a blissful thing. There are no winners in this. So to avoid had I known, I beg, look for your type and settle with them. Thank you. And lastly, the third and last point I would like us to discuss that we can learn from this Sheila and Israel 10-month marriage, which unfortunately came to an end even before it started, is the concept of husband material. For years, time immemorial, we have often come across the word wife material. Oh, she's not a wife material, she's just this. There is this belief that there are some certain traits that a woman should possess to make her wifeable. And that's why you see families and mothers putting in a lot of effort to raise their daughters, to prepare them for marriage. But society has deceived us for far too long to believe that there is nothing like husband material. That the only quality or trait a man should have to make him marriageable is just money. And that you can see also reflecting in the amount of efforts that mothers in the past put in raising their sons. But verily, verily, I say unto you today, there is something called husband material. And it is just as important as wife material. Just as some people feel that certain ladies are suitable and appropriate only for dating and flings, but they lack the qualities to make a stable, to raise a stable home. So also do some men make wonderful boyfriends. They're fun, they're generous, energy on fleek. They have the ginger, they're excited. When you see them enter a place bouncing like this, sagging, one cap here, hey, Boboski, you'll be proud to see him, big boy, smooth, his cologne alone. Oh my God, perfect boyfriend material. But I tell you that those traits, those fun, exciting, spontaneous traits do not translate into the stability, the responsibility, the maturity needed to make a good husband. I'm sure some of my young ladies will be watching me now. They may not understand. Some may not understand, but I promise you, I assure you, as you get older, both in age and maturity, you will begin to understand what I'm telling you, what I'm teaching you. So you may be asking, Neze, Barrister Neze of life. We all know what we look out for when we say wife material. Oh, she should be humble, she should be responsible, she should know how to cook, clean, she should be homely, she should be, we all know those so-called wife material traits. Yeah, tell us about the husband material. Should I tell you? You pay me. Oh yeah, the payment I want is subscribe to my channel. All right. So if you've gotten to this part of the video and you're yet to subscribe, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up and begin to drop your comments. All right. I'll tell you the traits that you should look out for in a husband material. 1, emotional maturity. Does he have the ability to handle conflicts without abuse, without needless drama and escalations? Does he have his emotions in check? Does he have control of his actions, or is he erratic? 2, consistency. Is he dependable? Not just in providing. Women, we are not Al Majiris. This is 2025. We cannot be acting like beggars. Like the only thing, the only factor that should form our decision in life is money. At this stage where everybody's given equal opportunities now to go and hustle for themselves, you cannot be making life-altering decisions based on money alone. So when I talk about dependency, I'm not just talking about, oh, can you depend on him to give you pocket money to make your hair? No. I'm talking about, is he consistent in character? When he's mad, when he's sad, when he's angry, when he's frustrated, when he's broke, can you still trust him, to be that person that you know? Or does love quickly turn to hate according to the weather? There's some men that their wives will be sick, but because they're angry with their wives, they will leave their wives to be sick and not go and buy her drugs and drive out. That is someone that is not dependable. But there are some men that they'll be angry with you, but they will buy you, even if they are not happy. They will take care of you. They would do that thing that they're supposed to do, perform their responsibilities, even when there is conflict. Thirdly, does he have respect for partnership? This one has to be on caps locks, especially for us as African women. And you know, I always tell you why. Does he want the marriage to work? Does he value you? Or he values the idea of being married, regardless of who is occupying the position? He wants a nanny and a cook and a chef. Does he value you? Or he just values marriage? Does he want to be a husband, or he just needs a wife? Is he the type that would fight for the marriage, or he's the type that has the idea that women plenty? After all, Bible say 300 women go fight for one man. Soldier goes, soldier come. Men mount. Men gallant. Men stand. No shaking. Because it is that his insistence on you or nobody else that would keep him. Because if we tell ourselves the truth, it is easier for the men to find a replacement to move on. So if he has the idea of I beg, fuck shit. Then lastly, the fourth major husband material that if you have the opportunity to, please consider it and take a look at it, is, does he have self-control? And self-control does not just mean self-control around the concom below. It means self-control in behavior, self-control over anger, over habits. Or he's the type that if anybody offends him, keke driver offends him, he can park the car and start throwing punches on the main road while you are in the car like, Jesus. Does he have self-control over finances? Does he have self-control over lifestyle? This is another consideration for husband materials. So for women who have the opportunities of having many suitors come to them, and you're wondering, hey, which one? This one is fine. Oh, this one tantalizes me. Oh, he gives me rose. He makes me feel butterfly. But this one is a bit, look at these qualities I just mentioned now, and make your choice based on these qualities, not based on the superficial ones. Because some of we women would see koro with our eyes. A man that his husband material list yard is 0/10, and you still go in to marry him just because of money, just because of looks, just because of swag, just because of fame or popularity, just because of all of these surface and superficial qualities that cannot sustain a marriage or make you happy at the end of the day. Dating and marriage are two different things. And someone who is fun and exciting to date may not be strong enough to build with. Shine your eyes. So what I just narrated once again played out in this ISREAL Sheila case. A young lady in her 20s, just 21, clearly highly impressionable. And in as much as I would like to hold her responsible and accountable for her actions as an adult, 21 is adulthood, right? But I still will cut her some slack. Because if you are in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, 60s watching me here, you may think back to a decision that you made at 21 and it will feel cringe. You pinch yourself and be like, what was I thinking? I was so stupid. So yes, 21 is adulthood, but she was still very young. So she was clearly carried away by the concept of popularity and the paparazzi. Oh, this guy just came into my life. In 3 weeks, he got me the latest iPhone and sent me shopping. Oh my God, who is this guy? Davido's friend? Oh, private jet. Maybe those factors had some influence on her decision. It is clear that she did not scrutinize for this husband material traits. The man was strategic in his decision. He's older, he's more mature. He was looking for a girl that he felt he could control. A girl that was not exposed, a virgin, a good girl, coming from a den of wild wolves as women, seeing a good girl, a church girl, evangelist, a virgin. He was strategic in his decision of picking her. But I do not think that she did the same, that she marked out some very important checklists aside from these superficial things. Because a man that can come out and insult, call his mother-in-law a prostitute and drag not just his estranged wife, drag her family, drag her father, mobilize and go with boys to go and retrieve the gifts that he gave them in the mother's shop, rough-handled the mother-in-law. It wouldn't take more than 1 week or 1 day to stay with that man and watch and observe him, both his body language, behavior, spoken and unspoken words, to know that this man is not a husband material. I hope all the parties involved have learned, and I hope that we all too watching have also learned a thing or two. Ladies, please put other things into consideration aside money. Let us get our thoughts down in the comment section. So guys, yes, we have come to the end of today's video. If you're new here, you're seeing my face for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, drop all your comments down in the comment section, and stay glued for we have so much more coming your way. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye. Mwah.